உலம் தரும் செல்வம் தந்திடும் அடியார் படுதுயராயினவெல்லாம் நிலம் தர செய்யும் நீழ்விசும்பருளும் அருளோடு பெருநிலம் அளிக்கும் வலம் தரும் மற்றும் தந்திடும் பெற்ற தாயினும் ஆயினச் செய்யும் நலம் தரும் சொல்லை நான் கண்டு கொண்டேன் நாராயணா என்னும் நாமம். தியாயன் கிருதே யஜன் யஜ்ஞைஹி த்ரேதாயாம் துவாபரே அர்ச்சயன் யதாப்னோதி ததாப்னோதி கலௌ சங்கீர்த்திய கேசவம். Just think about this episode. Draupadi was there. She was there in this kingdom and she was treated very badly. All of us know the Draupadi Vastraharan story. And all she did was to call out the name of Lord Krishna. Krishna gave her the protection. All the clothes that was required for her was given to her, though Krishna was not present there. Just by triggering the name of Krishna, she got her need satisfied. Now our Lord feels, oh my God, she called my name. Just clothes are not sufficient for her. I'll have to do more for her. So what Krishna does is he becomes a messenger for her husbands. He goes all the way to negotiate with Duryodhana. Not just that, he does so many services whenever the Pandavas were in trouble. To add to that, he even drove the chariot of Arjuna during the war. And driving the chariot is not really something God has to really do. Now think about it. When he was a charioteer, Arjuna used to stamp on Krishna in order to get inside the chariot. The Lord of the entire universe being stamped by a human being, and he accepted it joyfully. Why? Because Draupadi that day recited my name. It was not just that. He was a charioteer, means that at the end of every day's war, people used to sleep, the soldiers used to sleep, the entire army used to take rest. But Krishna, because he was a charioteer, used to clean all the 100 horses which belonged to Arjuna. He used to heal the places where the horses were affected because of the bow and the arrow of other warriors. The Lord of the universe did. Why? Because Draupadi recited his name long back. So such is the kripa, the mercy of our Lord, because if we recite his name once, he is there to do anything that we want. Similarly, all of us know about Kuchela's episode. He just gave poha to the Lord, the beaten rice we call it. Now God in turn gave him things which he could not even imagine. He washed Kuchela's feet along with his consort. Think about the greatness. He gave him all the wealth that he wanted. He gave him unimaginable things, all because he recited the Lord's name. So whenever we recite God's name, we get a lot more than what we can ever imagine. Now whenever we have to do an activity, we plan things before doing an activity. Now after vacation, when a child has to go to school, towards the last week of the vacation, everything is planned, from the new shoe to a school bag to everything is planned for the kid. Now whenever we go for a vacation, we plan things out. Whenever we have to go to work, even after a weekend, we plan things out. Our ancestors planned so many things before the Kali Yuga came into existence for us. So towards the end of the Treta Yuga, our ancestors created an entire epic, itihasa for us, which is Mahabharata. The two eyes of the Mahabharata are Bhagavad Gita and Sri Vishnu Sahasranama. Now the Vishnu Sahasranama is all about the names and more names of the Lord. Usually when we say Sahasram, it does not really mean 1,000, it means thousands of names of the Lord. Now the Bhishmacharya filtered the most important 1,000 names and gave it to us just before Kali Yuga, so that it will be very useful for us, because the diagnosis for Kali Yuga is Naama Sankirtanam. Keep reciting God's names. But then we say 1,000 names are too much for us. How can we recite 1,000 names every single day? It's not going to be possible. Goddess Parvati asks Lord Shiva to give a simple solution in the place of repeating the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Now Lord Shiva tells Parvati, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So just repeating Rama 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 is equivalent to repeating the 1,000 names of Lord. So here we have a solution. We can keep repeating the name Rama. Okay, now I have a solution. So why should I understand other names might be a question. If we just compare it to our everyday life, it is sufficient if we drink water. Water will help us to live. But is water enough? We need rice, we need food, we need rotis, we need bread, we need vegetables, we need fruits, we need sweets, we need ice cream, we need whatnot, we need so much of variety. Even more, what we have for breakfast, we would not prefer to have the same thing for dinner because we need variety. When we need variety in terms of food, so also we need more variety. The ruchi of the names of the Lord are varied. So repeating Rama 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 is sufficient, but we would also enjoy a lot more because every single name of the Lord has a different characteristic. It has a different quality. The epithets are so interesting when we understand the historical concept behind the whole thing. So that leads us to a whole new thing. So how do I understand more names? Well, 1,000 names might be a bit too much for me to take at this point of time. I would like to go there, but not at this point of time. Rama, I understand, I will definitely practice, but is there something in between these two? Now there comes Bhagavad Gita. Now imagine a situation. We are in a war field. Arjuna sees all his friends and relatives who are ready to wage war with him. Now he's a soldier, he's a commander-in-chief, and he's supposed to be one of the greatest during his times. And he is one person who is very proud of his bow, which is called as Gandiba. Now seeing all these persons in the war field, he's supposed to be a very bold person, but somewhere, he just breaks down. He's not able to understand what's happening to him. His mind gets clogged. He's not able to make the right decisions. He feels that, how can I fight my own people? What am I going to achieve because of it? And for such a great soldier, for whom the weapons are much bigger than his own life, his own bow falls off his hand. Gandibam samshade hashtat, he says. He prides about his Gandibam, but that falls from him. So he's not able to understand what's happening to him. So he's stressed, he is tensed, he's not able to make the right decisions. He's having an internal civil war of what's right and what's wrong. He does not know what is the virtuous path or the dharmic path to follow. At this confused moment, he uses 84 different slokas where he discusses with Krishna and asks several different questions and begs Krishna to give him the solutions. And in these 84 different slokas, he addresses Krishna with several different names. Now think about it, in a face-to-face conversation, how many times do we use different names? If we want to call a person, we might call him once or twice. But Arjuna addresses Krishna with so many different names, and many names are repeated across different slokas and different meanings are there, and there is a lot more between the lines than we can actually visualize. So many translations just substitute the name of the Lord as Krishna or Bhagavan, but a lot more goes inside the names. So now here we have these episodes. The next weeks and months to follow, we will be dwelling on the names of our Lord Krishna, the mindset with which Arjuna addresses Krishna with these names, Krishna's answers and the way Krishna addresses Arjuna, what are the different emotions because of which these names sprung up, what is the use of understanding these names and utilizing it in our everyday life, and what all can these names do for us. Of course, these names can do a lot more than what we can ever imagine, Petra Tainum Aina Same, it's going to do a lot more than our mother to us. But understanding these names will give us a feel which gives us so much of satisfaction and happiness when we understand this. So this comes after the Sri Rama Nama, which is like water, which is the basic thing for us. Sahasranamam is like, a 10-course meal, which we will get there. But for our everyday variety, for us to have the ruchi, for us to dwell in His names, for us to have a Krishnanubhava, these names are going to come in handy. So the names of Krishna, as in Bhagavad Gita, is going to be the topic. And for this topic, we have given the name as Naama Geetha, which means the names of Krishna in Gita. So we will be discussing the names that are used by both Arjuna and Sanjaya during Bhagavad Gita, the meanings of each of these names, the underlying emotions which are there during these meanings, what can each of this meaning give to us. When we recite these names, what's in for us, we will understand that concept as well. And a lot more things relating to these names will be discussed. So look forward to the future episodes. Krishnaya Tubhyam Namaha.